Nona Peltier on the other side of me. Hi, Nona, with Business News Tonight. The Bank of New Zealand, Australian-owned, of course.
Yes,
by...
one of the big four, NAB.
Thank you. Has made a strong profit as customer deposits and savings increase.
Indeed, they did. Yes.
Nice dividend for NAB.
Well, and other shareholders. I mean, let's not forget that it's shareholders who own these banks, right?
Yep.
They're not privately owned.
No.
No. Okay, so yes, well, they made a very good profit, up 18% to $490 million in the first half. So that's a hefty.
That's a half-year profit.
That's a half-year profit. That's a lot of money. And in fact, their revenue was up 11%, $1.2 billion, and that was boosted by growth in business and home lending. And their margins have improved. Their customer deposits are up. It's a pretty good result all up. Absolutely lovely for them. And their expenses were also up, but they said that was okay because they're investing in digital. They're saying that more than 90% of their transactions now are digital.
Wow.
Yeah. It's quite a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a hell
And
of a
they're
lot.
going to have to keep
I was
investing.
just thinking about that.
Yeah, in fact, 92% is what they said.
So which means 8% of branches, old school, queuing up.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
Meeting people.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I was at the bank today.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who like to say hello.
It was a beautiful day to go for a wander.
Yes, that's right.
What did the BNZ say about the Australian Royal Commission into banking?
Well, we spoke with the ANZ earlier this week, and this time we spoke with the Bank of New Zealand, and they basically said the same thing. Their hands are clean. They have not done anything that they should be embarrassed about, and they are happy for the inquiries that are being made here. They work under a different regulatory framework with the Financial Markets Authority and the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. It's a different game than what happens in Australia. Also, the work that they do here is different. You know, it's interesting. Somebody asked me yesterday about this, but a lot of investment in New Zealand is passive investment. But the Australians, a lot of them like to do active investment, and that requires financial advice. And so they tend to seek it more often than we would.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. Z Energy released its full year result today. It won't have been as big as the BNZ's half year, will it?
No, but it wasn't. It was still pretty healthy. Yeah, their profit was, okay, it was, what did they call it, a modest lift. But never mind, for the year end in March, they made $263 million. That was $20 million more than they made the year before.
Right.
So it's that's still a good profit.
And we kind of know the regions they're making it in, thanks to the news coverage of the past week or two, don't we?
Wait a minute. Now, just before you get into that, in fact, a lot of the profit growth that they've got is they're reaping and starting to bank the profits they got from the purchase of the Caltex brand a couple of years ago. So that's a lot of reason why they have a bit of a very strong position. And they say, just like the banks, go ahead, come and look at our books. We have nothing to hide.
So that's their response to the fuel pricing revelations?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So there you go. That answers that, right? I'm ahead of you, John.
Yeah, thanks, Nada. Well, what happened on the markets today?
Okay, well, on the markets, we had our top 50 index. It rose 0.2%, 53 points up to 8,547, which is pretty good because the trade talks between China and the United States, there's a lot of tension there. There's a bit of worry. Our New Zealand dollar, it fell a little bit overnight, but it kind of came back up a little today, so it's been holding steady, and that's partly because the U.S. Federal Reserve indicated that they're going to raise rates as they expected over the rest of the year. So even though they held them steady on Wednesday. So we are at 70.1 US cents, 93.2 Australian, and 51.6 pence.
Nona Peltier, thank you very much indeed.